Hello and welcome. It's Case the Caddy tonight, Thursday night at 8 p.m. with Erica. I go by From Me to You Paper Crafts if you're looking for me online. And welcome. If you're new to me, I'd love to see a comment from you. Let me know how you found me perhaps and where you're from. It's always fun to know where in the world you are and how far my reach is. Tonight we are doing a beautiful card from an online exclusive suite of products. It's all about summer drinks, all of those lovely cocktails that we like to have on our deck or on the patio. Those fancy cocktails. Maybe you can let me know what one of your favorite cocktails is. I love a good oh my God, it slipped my mind all of a sudden. I love gin and tonic, but a fancy drink, I love mojitos. I really enjoy a good mojito. I love margaritas, and I like bellinis. Anything with kind of fruits, berries is always fun to mix up for a summer cocktail. And often I make it without alcohol. I just make a big pitcher of something like a sangria, but without the wine, because it's just so refreshing with some nice big chunky ice cubes. So that's what we're going to do tonight. And I haven't played with this suite at all. I'm cracking it open as we play tonight. But I will turn my camera down and show you what I've got on my desk here, ready to make a card. Now, this is an online exclusive. So Case the Caddy, typically I look through one of our current catalogs and I find a project that I want to make, and then I make it from the catalog. And I usually keep pretty well as close to the catalog's project as possible. Sometimes I change it up. So if I'm missing, say, the matching ribbon, I'll put a different ribbon on, that kind of an example. Sometimes I'll change the orientation. If it's a portrait card, I might turn it landscape, just to show you that you can use the catalog for inspiration. And then you go from there to do whatever it is that you want to do. Being an online exclusive, we don't have any photographs in a catalog, but online, if you look for the product online, you will see some project examples there. And so that's what I did. I actually printed out the sample projects that they have online so that you can, copy those. So let me turn my camera down right away. I'm just going to bring this to the forefront. Here we go. Okay. So this is what I found online. I'm just going to lower my camera down a little bit more here so you can see what I'm doing and straighten out my camera. Okay. So I found this online. So there's several projects. There's a really interesting, I think this is a slimline card. It's a really long card and it's got a whole bunch of different cocktails on there. And then it shows you a couple of other cards here. It's a really, really simple little card here, perhaps a glass of wine with some sprigs in it. And then this card here is really cute as well. Gives you different glasses with a little umbrella. And then you've got this one. I thought we would attempt to do this one tonight. So it's got two drinks and it's got some layering going on there. So I thought we might try that one, although this one is really, really pretty as well. We could try this one as well. Anyway, I'm going to show you the papers, or I'm going to show you the stamp set to start with. So here is the stamp set. So it's got a lot of stuff going on here to do with cocktail making. So you've got two different types of glasses. This is a very popular shape for a wine glass. And then this is very popular for any of the other, like a mojito would come in a glass like this, for example. Then you've got some ice cubes, and then you've got fruit. So you've got some strawberries, you've got maybe a blackberry or a, yeah, it looks like a blackberry to me. You've got an olive, and you've got a slice of lemon or lime, and you've got a cherry, and you've got some other leaves. This is probably mint leaves, which often goes in drinks. And then you've got some other, this kind of looks like lavender. And then this is a skewer that you put fruit on, right? And then you've got a few little greetings. You've got to you, to us, it's your day, let's celebrate. So if it's a birthday, it would be fun to do that. You could also make a card and include a gift card saying that you're going to take a person out for lunch and have some cocktails with your lunch. So that might be a good idea. All right, and it's a photopolymer stamp set, so it's going to be very easy to work with. Okay, and then you have the dies. Excuse me, here are the dies. And so you've got the two different glasses in here. So you've got the short little glass and the taller glass. And then you've got this decor element that you could include. So say, for example, you're using a glass that has like a crystal glass that has some etching in it. You could use that on the glass. And then you've got all of your little die cuts for all of your little fruits and herbs. And you've got your umbrella here as well to cut out. So here's your strawberry. You've got your cherry, your little blackberry there. Okay, so those are the dies that go with the set. And then you've got some embossing folders. I was kind of intrigued about these. So again, the embossing folders, I think, are allowing you to add some texture to your glasses. You could also use it as a background. So this one reminds me of a crystal glass for, say, a glass of scotch. There's often glasses that have some etching on the bottom of the glass, crystal glass. Beautiful. And then you've got this other one that has a floral design on it, which is very interesting. So you could add this to a glass to give it some texture as well. So you've got these two thin embossing folders. We haven't had these come out in a while, but these are great to use with your mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So you've got those. Then you've got some beautiful, these are really pretty. These are iridescent dots that you could add to your card. Very, very pretty. Lots of green and pink and a bit of blue as you move it around and it catches the light. They're very, very pretty. So you've got some embellishments. There's a ribbon. So it's a full suite of products. You've got this beautiful ribbon here. It's a gold ribbon. I've seen this sort of style before. I think we had one that came out at Christmas. So there's your ribbon. Okay. And then the papers. The papers are always, to me, the most exciting. I love the papers. Okay, so I'm going to show you the papers, just so that I get to see the papers. So excited. All right, check this out. Look at this beautiful paper here. So here's that sangria I was telling you about. And then you've got lots of sample cocktails here. You've even got some bottles of wine. You've got some other kind of beverages in here. You've got your fruit. You've got lemons and oranges, and it's just really, really pretty. You've got some lemonade over here, perhaps. Very, very pretty. Lots of variety of beverages on there. Okay, now our packs of paper always come 2 sheets each. So we've got this, and then the other side is just a textured piece here. Very, very pretty, just to use as your background. Look how gorgeous this is. This is very, very pretty. So you've got some kind of like, to me, it looks like lavender. It's beautiful. That's a really pretty pattern, isn't it? Then on the back, you've got some green here. Green stripes. I think this color is Old Olive. So the stamps I'm using, or the ink pads I'm using, is Old Olive, and I'm also using one of our new ink colors called Secret Sea. Those are the 2 colors I'm using. Now this sheet is very, very interesting. It's very, very cool. What this is meant to be used for is to take your die cuts, so the tall glass, the short glass, and just cut these out. And so now your glass is already filled with color. So you don't have to bother coloring it. You can just pick whatever you want. So they've got lots of different colors. They've got the yellows, the pinks, the reds, the purples. So you can do any type of beverage you want. So that's really, really handy. And then you've got, this is beautiful on the back. That's absolutely really pretty. I might use that on my card as a background. Then you've got this one. Now, I'm not sure that these actually cut out. Let's have a look. Very often our pattern paper, they coordinate the pattern paper, or they I don't know. I think they make the paper first and then they match up the dies. But yes, see, I can actually die cut this little beverage. You wouldn't want to cut that one off because you're going to cut off your greenery, but they're easy enough to fussy cut. So there's quite a few here that you can cut with this short glass. Okay. And then the tall glass, I'm sure we can cut some of these out from the paper. So like this one, for example, we can cut this one out, and we can cut out this one, and we can cut out this one. So there's quite a few of these that you can cut out. Okay. And these are easy enough to fussy cut. All right, so that's that. And then the back of this paper is this beautiful, this looks like Blackberry Bliss on here. So that's the back of that paper. Okay, oh, look at this one. This is really, really pretty. Hi, Carol. Thank you for joining me tonight. How are you? This is very, very pretty. So now you've got all of your elements for adding to your drinks. You've got your different berries. You've got some cherries there. You've got your lemons, your limes. You've got an orange twist. And you've got some of your foliage that is often added to the glass. That's such a pretty paper. And then you've got, this is Secret Sea color. I think this is actually used on the card. And then this one's very, very pretty. And so these papers can be used on anything that you want. It doesn't have to be used with the stamp set because they're very versatile. Okay, so those are your papers. All right. So let's get started making the card. I'm starting right from scratch here. We're not going to be using the embossing folders for this card. We're not going to use the ribbon. We might use some of these embellishments. Let's get my cleaning pad out of the way. And let's start with, yeah, so this is a large suite of products. And I always love getting the whole suite. I'll just tell you what the colors are in here. Quite a few colors. You've got your Berry Burst, Blackberry Bliss, Bubble Bath. Those are all your pinkies. Cloud Cover, Daffodil Delight, Lemon Lime Twist, Old Olive, Peach Pie, Pretty in Pink, Secret Sea, Strawberry Slush, and Timid Tiger. So you've got 3 of the new in colors, Secret Sea, Strawberry Slush, and Timid Tiger. Those are the 3 newest in colors. Oh, Cloud Cover as well is new. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got all 4 of the new in colors. Okay. All right, so let's go back to the piece of paper that I have with the card we're making. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to make this card, all right? So I am going to use this, this Secret Sea, and we're going to do a landscape card. So the first thing I need to do is cut this 8.5 by 11 in half. And we're going to make a landscape card. So I'm cutting this at 5.5 inches. 5.5 inches. And then I'm going to score it at 4.25. Okay. Now I need to do more paper cutting. So this is our card base. So it's going to be landscape like that. Okay, now it looks like the pattern paper that they use, and they covered the whole front of the card. And the pattern they're using is, looks like it's this one. So this is going to cover the whole front of the card. So let me put these other papers away. And I am going to need the paper with these swatches. Although it looks like they fussy cut the one with the umbrella. Yeah, we could do some fussy cutting with the umbrella. And what's the other one? Maybe these are all fussy cut. I think these all might be fussy cut, so that's going to make it easier. Yeah, so I'm going to grab this piece. Let's just see. So maybe not so much stamping tonight, but more fussy cutting. So when you choose to either die cut or fussy cut, you know, I don't like to work. You can't work with this huge piece of paper. So I usually just make a cut line, you know, through the glasses. So the ones we want is this one here. We want to fussy cut this one out. And we want to fussy cut the one that has the olive. It's this one here. Yeah, we're going to fussy cut this one. So we're going to cut these two out. So we can start with that. So I'm just going to, and often when I crack open a new set, what I like to do is just spend some time fussy cutting or die cutting a lot of the images from the paper, and then I have them on hand next time I want to make a card. Now, some of these images are very close together, so you need to be careful. But, oh, that's not my scissors there. So I'm just going to cut this one out to get started. Okay, there's the one. And this other one, I'm going to come in from the top here. And this came right to the top of that glass. This is a bit of a tricky one. Very tricky just to get that piece right there. Okay. All right, so we need this one. Now, if you don't like fussy cutting, then you don't need to use the paper in the way that I'm using the paper. You could just die cut some of them and use those. Okay, so I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to try and leave a little bit of a border in here. Tiny white border. I kind of like a little white border on my cards. Okay, and I'm just turning my paper as I cut. And you don't have to be so precise with your cutting. I usually don't go into all the nooks and crannies. Try and get a little bit of detail around the edges, but not so precise. There isn't that much to talk about in the Stampin' Up! World right now. We're well into the new catalog, the 2025 to 2026 catalog. They just released a bunch of new online exclusive products. So I've got a couple of sweets in my cart waiting. Don't forget the buy one, get one at 50% off sweet offering is going on right now. And as soon as you enter them into your cart, you will see that it takes the discount off right away. So I don't know what drink this would be with an olive in it. It's a fruity looking drink with an olive in it. But then again, there have been some very bizarre cocktails. Have you heard about the hamburger cocktail? I'm not kidding you. It's a hamburger, a full hamburger on a huge skewer in a drink. I mean, I have never ordered it, but my daughter and her boyfriend have had it, and it's just insane. So it's like you're drinking your food together in one package. All right, so there's the one that I've done. Okay, and then here's the second one. So this one has a cute little umbrella on there. Now it does show on these images, it does show the outline of the glass. So you know how some glasses have kind of a thick glass bottom. So the color of the drink, doesn't extend to the bottom of the glass. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. So that's kind of what these look like. Now this pale kind of bluey green color is the new cloud cover. Is one of the new in colors. Okay, there's the other drink. I don't think I'm going to get too detailed in here. I can't get into the middle anyway, so I'm just going to cut this little piece out here. You don't have to be too detailed. Okay, so there's your other drink. All right. Let's start putting this card together. So I'm going to cut my paper here. So there's our two drinks. Okay, and then I'm going to do Cheers, It's Your Day. So those are the two stamp sets in the set. So let's cut the paper. This is, it goes on the full background. Okay, now I'm seeing more detail of this. This looks like it's been die cut, not die cut, sorry, the embossing folder with the flowers on it. I can see it more clearly now. All right, now I need this to be 4 by 5 1/4 or 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This is bi-directional paper, so I don't have to worry about how I'm cutting my paper in this case. So, except I have to worry, I want it horizontal. So I want this cut to 5 1/2 because it's going to cover the whole sheet, the whole front of the card. So I'm going to go 5 1/2 is the width of my card. 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So I'm going to cut this to 4 1/4. Okay. So this is going to go on the front of the card, on the full front of the card. Okay. Now, this is, this might be the lighter, I'm just going to grab that cardstock. I didn't bring it to my desk. It's the lighter, I think it's called Cloud Cover, is the lighter, Let me just bring a full sheet to my desk because I need it. Now with In Colors, when they come out, they do come in packs. You get 4 sheets of each color in a pack. So instead of buying all 5 In Colors, oh, I've lost my camera again. Why does it do that? I don't know. So bear with me a second. I think you can still hear me. Stop the extra camera. Okay, sorry about that. To stage. Present extra camera is this one. Share. Okay, I think we're back in business. I don't know why, but every now and then it just quits on me. Okay, let's bring this one forward now. Add to stage. There we go. I think we're back. Okay, I apologize for that. Okay. All right. So I'm thinking that this is called Cloud Cover. And this goes right across the front of the card as well. And I'm going to guess that it is, I'm just going to put it on here and I'm going to do a little pencil mark on here. It looks like it's a bit wider at the top. So I might go to there and then it's more narrow at the bottom. So I'm just going to grab a pencil and I'm just going to put a pencil mark in right here. Okay, so this is how I'm going to cut this piece. Like this. Okay, and then I'm going to cut that to 5.5 because I think, oh, it's pretty good at 5.5. I might have to trim it just a tiny bit. Okay. So now I'm going to grab the floral embossing folder. This one here. I don't know if the camera can pick that up. Can you see it better on the dark? It's got flowers on it. Actually, if I put the cardstock in there, you might be able to see it better. Now, these aren't the 3D embossing folders. So you're going back to probably 2 acrylic plates. So can you see the flowers better now? My lighting is there. That's better. There you can see it. Okay. So I'm going to use my 2 acrylic plates. I might need a shim. Nope, that's working. So the thinner embossing folders, you can get away with just the base plate and then 2 of your acrylic plates. Oh, look at that. Can the camera pick that up? Look how pretty that is. Okay. All right, so we don't need this sheet. Let's put that away. All right, so let's glue this. I'm going to use my Tombow glue because it gives me time to, this, you know, when you look at this closely, it almost looks like an alligator skin or crocodile skin. So let's put our glue on here. Oh, I really like this paper, this side. It's got some little kind of dots in the background. Okay, so I'm just going to throw that on there, and then I just like to sort of like use my fingers and just get it to all, you know, match up. Okay, so my fold is there at the top. Okay, and then this is going to go on top like this. That is so pretty. Okay, and then okay, now that polka dotty piece, I need a piece of that. Oh, they are using the ribbon in here, I see. So I just need a little strip of this to go underneath the glasses. So as usual, I'm cutting my paper 4 by 5 1/4. So again, I'm looking at my orientation here. So I want this to go 4. By 5 1/4. Okay, that's my standard layer. Okay, and then I'm just going to cut a little strip off here because I need some polka dots. So I'm going to do about a 1/2 inch strip, I think. That looks good. Okay, and then now there's something going on underneath it. There is it's in Old Olive. It looks like it's one of the leaves. So let's find... Get this paper out of my way here. I'm going to put the embossing folders away. And more paper. Okay, here's the stamps. So I need a piece of white, and I'm going to stamp a piece of scrap white here. Let's pull in my so it looks like it's the mint. Is it the mint? It looks like it's the mint. So I need the little mint leaf. Which is this here. And then I've got a block. Throw that on that block. And then on my scrap white. And it looks like there is 1, 2, 3 of them. And they've just stamped this in Old Olive just as an outline. You could choose to color it in if you wanted to with your blends or your watercolor markers. But I'm going to do 3 of these. And then there's a matching die. To cut them out. So you could get your Old Olive blends, or you could use your watercolor pencils and color that in if you wanted to. But there is a die here. Yes, there it is. That's it right there. So we're going to use this die. This will be quite a fun set to play with, I think. Would make a great party invitation. All right, so we're going to die cut this 3 times. There's only 1 die for the mint leaves. And let me just grab one of my tape flags here. So bear with me. I have to do this 3 times. So here it is once. So it's not so easy to line up. There we go. Here's the second one. And then the third one. Now remember, when you see a little hole, tiny little hole in the bottom, it's usually on a stem. It's there so that you can see the stem through that hole, so you know you've got it lined up correctly. That's what that's there for. It's not the typical hole to push through the die or push through the paper, because this is an open die, so you don't need that. Okay, so here's our 3 little leaves. Okay, let's put my die on my magnetic plate. All right, I think we're ready to assemble, and we've got a little bit of ribbon in there too. So let's pull out the ribbon and let's have a little struggle getting this. Oh my gosh, I got it first time. Hey, congratulate me. Usually I struggle getting the cellophane off, but that came off easily. So I've got a piece of this, so I'll cut that to length. All right, let's bring back our card. All right, so this can be glued on. So we've got a bit of a wide top and a more narrow bottom. Now I've made mine a little bit actually wider than in the picture, but that's okay. I'm not worried about that. It's my interpretation of the cased piece. Now, this die, a lot of dies can be used either embossed or debossed. This is pretty both ways. So I'm going to put this on like this. Line that up to the edge and to the other edge. Very pretty. Okay, so basically we're going to put this on, and we're going to just flag this, not flag it. I'm just going to do these angle cuts. I love these angle cuts, and you can angle cut it any way you want. You can do one side straight, one straight angled, whatever you want to do. So we're going to be putting that on like that, and then we're going to I think we'll tuck in the leaves at the end, because I might put these glasses on dimensionals, but I need to get the ribbon behind it. Okay, so let's glue this on. I think I'm safe to glue this on. I'll glue this on here like this. Okay, then I need a piece of ribbon. And I'm just going to cut that like that. Okay. Now, for the ribbon, for now, I'm just going to put some glue dots just to hold it in place. So let's grab a couple of glue dots, and the ribbon is sort of up here. And my glass is going to go over Yeah, that's good like that. I'm putting them, it's going to get covered by my glasses as well as the cheers greeting. So I'm just going to put 3 little glue dots like that and then take the backings off. Okay, now we can hold our ribbon down in place like so. Okay, now we're going to do our glasses. So this umbrella glass is going to go down first. And it's going to go a little bit crooked like that. So I'm going to put this on dimension. I think I'll put, I'm going to put the umbrella, I'm going to pop the umbrella up a little bit. I often do this with my flowers. I like to pop at least some part of it up just to give it a little dimension. Okay, and I'm just going to put a glue down the center because I want to be able to tuck the leaves underneath it. So I'm not going edge to edge with the glue. So I'm going to put that like that. Okay, and then that umbrella just lifts up off the page a little bit. And then I'm going to take my other one, and I think I'm going to get my mini dimensionals, and I'm just going to put a couple on this leaf bit. Pop those off. And then we're going to glue this on like that. So again, just down the center. And it's going to overlap a little bit like that. Okay. Now I'm going to add a bit of Wink of Stella to this just to show that, you know, the glasses are like cold and they're glistening. Now let's tuck our little leaves in. So there's one that's tucked in behind this pink glass. So right here. Like so. And then I'm going to pop one down here underneath here. Okay, and I thought I saw a third one in here. 1, 2. No, I guess there's only 2. Oh, yeah, there's only 2. Well, I can always add another one if I want. Okay, so next thing is, I'll put that on the inside of the card maybe. Now the next thing to do is the greeting. So we're going to do the greeting cheers. And we're going to do that in, looks like it's just in, you know what? I could do it in the Secret C. That's why I have that out. And I need the stamp that says cheers. This one here. So let's pop that on. And I will grab, now this is just fussy cut out. So I've got enough room right here. So let's do a cheers. Right like that. Okay, let's close this. Oh, and we've also got It's Your Day. Cheers, it's your day. It's your day. There it is. I don't read well not upside down, but reversed. Let's stick this on this block here. Okay. So this is done separately. So I'm going to lightly tap that, and this should fit right here. Now remember, with photopolymer, especially with words or letters, you don't want to press down too hard because they kind of splush out, if that's a word. Okay, so we're going to fussy cut these out, and this is just a real simple little cutout. We're just going to go straight across like so. So this is going to come on here. I'm going to put it just a little bit higher over the ribbon so we can see the ribbon. And then I have an It's Your Day. And I'm just going to cut that. Like that. Yeah, it's coming together, isn't it? All right. So I'm going to put these on dimensionals, and the little narrow one I won't because it's really too narrow for dimensionals, but this one I can do. So I'll put 2 of these on. Okay, so this is going to go over the glass, and I'm going to go over the ribbon, and the pink little polka dots are poking through. And then I've got this one. I'm going to grab my tweezers because it's pretty tiny. And put a little bit of glue on there. And then I'm going to put this down here. It's your day. This is kind of like a collage card because everything's sort of like, I don't know, all over the map. But there it is. There it is, as in the example. And look, when you make it, it just comes to life. It's really, really pretty. It would have been good. I noticed now that I could have fussy cut above that cherry stem and gotten in the back there. So you can do a bit more fussy cutting. If fussy cutting is not your thing, then leaving it like that, I think, is perfectly fine. Now, let me grab some Wink of Stella because this will bring the drinks to life, I think, if you add some Wink of Stella. Now, another idea I happened to see, I was watching some videos of other demonstrators making these, is somebody actually used our fine tip glue pen. That glue acts like, what did we used to have years ago? Wasn't made by Well, I don't know if Stampin' Up ever had it. What the heck was it called now? Glossy Accents. Do you remember Glossy Accents? So Glossy Accents is like a liquid glue, and you just put Glossy Accents, cover the glass with it, then you let it dry, and it kind of adds a little dimension, and then it's shiny once it's dry. But you can't make a card in one go. You have to leave it to dry really well, like overnight. But that's what, and I have mine. I had a tip from somebody recently where I bought a brand new fine tip glue pen. It's called a pen anyway, but it clogs all the time. So I threw it out and I bought a new one because I couldn't even get the lid off. And they swear that if you get these little bottles from Amazon, that this does not harden in here because it's completely sealed, and I keep it lying down like this. So hopefully that will work. I haven't tried it yet, but there you go. So there is your card tonight. Thank you, Carol, so much for watching. Let me just say goodbye. I'll bring me back to the front. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Thanks so much for watching. And there's your card. I think it turned out pretty nice. little bit of work, but it was fun. So that's the first of many to come. All right, so have a great weekend. Now, tomorrow morning, I can't come live for Fun Fold Friday. I will probably do it in the afternoon because I have a doctor's appointment in the morning. And so I'll come on later in the day and then do a Fun Fold Friday. I haven't yet decided which Fun Fold I'm doing, but I've got lots of choices, so not to worry. All right, thank you so much. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you again Monday for Mojo Monday. Bye for now.